morning, Trixie. She's like, oh my god, leave me alone, Mom. Alright. It is Wednesday, the something. Welcome to another reading vlog. Today, I am driving 5 hours to my mother's house, or my parents' house. Why do I keep saying my mum's house? My dad lives there too. 24th. Wednesday, the 24th. I just got back from work. I'm making some breakfast. And then I'm gonna shower, get dressed, pack my bags, and head off, like as soon as I can, I think. But yeah, that's the plan. I won't be able to vlog for like 5 hours because I will be driving, but I'm planning on reading while I'm driving The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy on audiobooks, so I should get through a large chunk of that if I'm lucky. And then then when I get to my parents' house, I can read heaps. I'm hoping to finish Female of the Species today. I have to read the next section of Descendant of the Crane for our read-along that April and I are doing. April is Maximus and I are reading Descendant of the Crane together this week. So I still have to read my section of, I will have to read my section of that when I get to my parents' house. I definitely think I can finish Female of the Species today, but I would also like to work pretty hard on A Closed and Common Orbit, which is my final owl. So I kind of want to try and work hard on all those fronts. I don't know if I could finish that today, but I think I could at least have it ready to finish tomorrow. But anyway, hopefully I should get there around like mid-afternoon, and I don't think we have any plans today at Mum and Dad's, so I should be able to just like have an afternoon of basically solid reading. Okay, I just did pop. Let's gotta go back in for a bit. Anyway, I'm gonna eat some breakfast. That's my kettle, and head off. I will be watching BookTube while I eat breakfast, but I am so far behind on that. Like, I think I managed to cut it down, but I save all the videos I could potentially watch into my watch later from my subscription feed, and then when my subscription feed gets too big to handle, I start deleting things I'm like less interested in. Like, not really in the mood for hauls at the moment. There are a couple of tag videos and stuff. I'm not big on tag videos. I tend to watch the big ones like TBR's hauls and wrap-ups and reading vlogs, but especially when there's readathons and stuff going on. But my interest in hauls is kind of not there at the moment. I don't know why. They're just like the thing I'm least interested in. So I've kind of deleted a bunch of those from the list. Except from like my fave people. I just haven't like put in hauls that are generic. Not generic. They're just people I'm less like, I'm still there for the book content about you, not about you yet, because I haven't watched enough yet. You get that, it's fine. That toast still needs more time. Anyway, I'm gonna go watch some BookTube while I eat my breakfast. Bye, Stacey. I'll see you Saturday. Bye. Bye. Where's Trixie? Bye, boys. Out there in the hatch. I love you. I'll see you Saturday. Here's Trixie. Bye, Trixie. Have a good day. I'll see you Saturday. Love you. Alright. Let's get the show on the road. So I'm at my first rest stop on my journey. I've listened to like 30% of Gentleman's Guide. I'm gonna go buy a snack. And then I'm gonna head back on the road for another hour and then stop for lunch is the plan. So I should get home at like 2? About that? Or to Mum and Dad's at 2? Alright, let's get going. So I went a little nuts in the BP, but it'll last me the whole trip and it'll be great. So I have an apple cake, which I will eat now. I got a twirl because I was craving it. Sesame bar because I saw it and went, yes, good chocolate alternative. I'm not a huge chocolate person, but I was having that random twirl craving. Whatever. And then a damn mocha, which is my new obsession. I don't know why I'm like so into them right now, but they solve a lot of my caffeination problems lately, especially at work. If I'm running short on time but I need to have coffee, damn mocha is the way to go. So I'm gonna eat my apple cake, or at least start eating my apple cake, and get back on the road. Say hi, Polly. Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera. Look at the camera. Look, look at the camera, Polly. This is Polly. I am just read 50 pages of Closed in Common Orbit, and now I'm about to jump over to Descendant of the Crane and read 70 pages with April. So I'm not sure how much you heard in that last clip because I was surrounded by sounds, but TV and music and things. But Mum's making pumpkin soup. I'm going to start today's section of Descendant of the Crane. I've read 50 pages so far today of Closed in Common Orbit. If I could read another 100, that would be great, but I also want to finish Female of the Species today, and I have about 80 pages left of that. So we'll see what happens, but definitely this is the next priority. Then I'll jump back to A Closed in Common Orbit, and then Female of the Species, and then if we can jump back again, amazing, but it might not happen. We will see. I'm really enjoying this so far. April and I are both really enjoying it. The writing is really lyrical and pretty. And the plot is intense. So I'm definitely keen to see what happens in this next section. Oh, look at cute little Polly having a nappo. Having a nappo. So I just finished the next section of Descendant of the Crane, which... shut that off. Which makes me just over halfway through, I think. And I am loving this. April and I are both really enjoying it. It's so intriguing. There's so much going on and so much mystery elements. And it just is so cool. I love all the characters. The one character I thought of, like the main characters that I thought I maybe didn't like, I now like. So, you know, it's a great time. I'm already so excited to read tomorrow's. Like, this is so good. I definitely recommend this. We're both pretty confident it's a standalone with maybe a companion novel. So we're really hopeful to get our answers to all the mystery in the last half of the book. But there's so much stuff going on and we're so curious and it's just so good. Loving it. Loving it. I'm going to go back and read... Do I just jump to Female of Species and finish that? I might just do that now. And then if I have time, go back to A Closed in Common Orbit. Because I would love to finish Female of Species today. So I might go do that now. So I finished the Female of the Species just then. Wow. Sorry, I'm in a bit of darkness here. Wow. That ending was nuts. Intense. Oh my god. I'm emotional. I don't know what to say. This is probably a 5-star read, but I haven't like sorted it out yet, so I don't know for sure. But that was emotional, my friends. I'm very glad I read it. So I've now completed the Muggle Studies Challenge to read a contemporary. So that's my Muggle Studies hour completed. Yeah, I am very speechless. I don't know what to say. I just don't even know how to comprehend right now. I'm like, it's done. I'm emotional. I don't read contemporary all that often, but when I do, it tends to get me in the feels. So I'm definitely got in the feels. The characters are all really complex and weird and interesting. It's essentially an exploration of rape culture. And we follow kind of our main character, Alex, whose sister was brutally raped and murdered. And you find out, like, really early on that the guy that did it got away with it. And so she killed him and also got away with it. And it's kind of her story. She deals with this kind of Like, she kind of compares herself to a psychopath or a sociopath, except she only feels this urge to kill people when they do something awful. So she's like, well, I don't not feel empathy. It's like, I feel too much empathy, and that's why I want to kill people. So, and it's kind of like a contemporary looking at her trying to build relationships and figure out how she fits into the world, dealing with having killed a guy. So it's really interesting. There's a lot going on. It's really graphic. It's young adult, but definitely like high end of like, there's a lot of content warnings for a lot of sex, rape, pedophilia, murder, a lot of things going on. But it was really impactful, really meaningful, and I really, really enjoyed it. Anyway, it's like almost 10 o'clock. We're watching the footy in the other room, which is what you'd be able to hear in the background. I'm going to grab out a closed and common orbit again. And I don't think I'll get through another 50 pages, but I'll just read a little bit in the meantime. And then go to bed, probably. Yeah. Oh, also, April and I are starting our readathon tomorrow. I'd confused her. She thought it started midday Friday. I had it starting midday tomorrow. We were both going to do at one point dedicated vlogs for it, but then both of us decided to scrap that, and this time we're just incorporating it into our normal vlogs. But we're going to be reading from, like, dedicated reading from midday tomorrow to midday Friday. And, yeah, that was my fault. I confused her. I was not very clear. I had this idea in my head, but I didn't communicate it very well. But anyway, we're going to be doing that, and then, and yeah, I'm excited. I kind of hope I can finish A Closed and Common Orbit in the morning before that starts. I should be able to finish it tomorrow, but I would love to just be able to read Descendant of the Crane, Wicked Saints, and some new stuff in that part of the evening, but that part of the 24 hours, but we'll see what happens. Closed and Common Orbit I definitely want to finish tomorrow, and I'll work on everything else. I really want to start the 3 other things I brought with me. So I brought Spectacle by Jodie Lynn-Drock, Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schultz, and A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallera. So I would love to start at least one of those tomorrow. Maybe all of them. But also got to read the next section of Descendant of the Crane and read some Wicked Saints and definitely finish A Closed and Common Orbit. So hopefully I can get a lot of reading done, but Mum and I do have some vague plans that have to be enacted as well. So we're going to do that. Anyway, all right. I'm going to go finish watching the footy and read a bit. Bye. Good morning. It is Thursday morning. That means it's Anzac Day, which means I have to go on to the results of announce the results of the poll today, and let the winner know, or at least this afternoon, which means I should go on and update my spreadsheet, which I haven't done in a few days. But yeah, that's fine. I just woke up basically and made my way inside because I sleep in like an outdoor bit, like a granny flat. I have just under about 150 pages of A Closed and Common Orbit left to read. I would like to finish this today. This is my final owl for, what was it for? Potions, I think. So I'm going to read 50 pages of this morning while I'm eating breakfast. And then I'll probably play Sims for a little bit. And then come back to it for another 50 pages. Yeah. And then at midday today, we're starting the 24 hours of reading. So, yes. Cows are out there having a good time. Looks like we got 2 types. We got white ones and black ones. They're divided by a fence. That's a bit racist, seeing as things about the same farm, I'm pretty sure. The cows are a bit segregated.
though probably some are dairy and some are cattle. And look at Mum's veggie garden. Cows.
Alright, it is, it's now 12:05 because I was just writing my review of the female species. But April and I are starting our 24 hours of reading right now. I'm going to start, we're both starting actually, with Descendant of the Crane, so we can be reading it together. We've got like another 70-ish pages of this today. I'm excited. I should also tweet about this. But anyway, I have read about 60 or 70 pages of Closed in Common Orbit today. I'm like halfway through or a bit into a section because I was reading a few bits, so I was waiting for my Sims to update, but then I was playing Sims, so I haven't finished that, but I want to read Descendant first and then I'll jump back to the 60-page bracket of that, then to something else, then back to that, and then that will be done. I'm achieving things already, but I'm gonna start with Descendant of the Crane. Right, it's 12:45. I've been reading. I'm just making lunch, and I'm still working on Descendant of the Crane with April, but some big plot twists happen in this section, so it's been taking us a little longer to read because we're spending lots of time like chatting about it as we read. Anyway, I'm gonna eat some food and keep reading. So April and I finished 70 pages of Descendant of the Crane, and so much happened in those 70 pages. We are both shooketh. We are not coping. Definitely going to be reading the next half like first thing tomorrow, and then we finish Saturday. So intense, so much happened. Obviously, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not telling you, but like so much happened. And I've been eating a bit of chocolate, and I'm going to move on back to A Closed in Common Orbit. I'm going to read 60 pages of this. We are going to go to the pool for a bit this afternoon for an hour or so. But otherwise, this is my baby for the next little bit. I'm going to read 60 pages of this, and then I'll jump over probably to Wicked Saints for 50 pages, and then back and finish this. And then this will be done. So, woo! Alright, I finished the 60 pages of this. I think we're going to go to the pool now, and then I'll probably come back and maybe I should just finish this. Then I'll read a bit of everything else. Alright, so I just got back from the pool. I'm going to finish A Closed in Common Orbit now. Then I have a stack of everything else I want to read this 24 hours. Read some of here. So we have Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan, which I'm 50 pages into already and loving. A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallero. Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schultz. I would hope to get like 50 pages of each of these read tonight if I could. And Spectacle by Jodie Lynn Drock. So that's my plan. Basically at home all night for the rest of the night now. So I'm hoping to read like 50 pages of each of them before I go to bed, at least. And then tomorrow morning, 50 pages of all of them again, including Descendant of the Crane. So I'm gonna go finish reading Closed in Common Orbit. Also, the giveaway is about to close on my channel, so I'm gonna draw that soon. So it's 6:21. I just finished A Closed in Common Orbit by Becky Chambers, which was my final owl. So I've completed all 12 subjects. I'll do a little wrap up maybe. I don't know, I'll probably just do my April wrap up, but I did complete. This is the final one. I selected the healer career, but I finished all of them. And I mainly selected the healer career because it seemed more achievable at the Newts stage. So anyway, I finished this. This was so sweet. We follow some characters that are in the first book in the series, but on a separate adventure, I guess. This is like a fast-paced sci-fi, hard sci-fi. It was so lovely and sweet. I loved it. It was so good. Anyway, we move on to other things. So I'm going to read the next 50 pages of Wicked Saints now. So I just finished the next 50 pages of Wicked Saints. The plot is really starting to pick up. We're really getting a feel of what the end game is, I guess. Which in the first 50 pages I didn't have. It was more like a setup, which you need. But this next 50 pages really solidified, I guess, where we're trying to go. So if you didn't know, this follows Nadia and a big cast. She's Kalyazi, and they believe in these like 12 gods, and she's a cleric, which means she can call upon these gods to give her magic. Normally a cleric can just call upon one, but she can all call upon all of them. And then they're at a war with this neighboring country called Travania, and in Travania they don't believe in the gods anymore, and instead they use blood magic. So they cut themselves and put blood on spells on paper. They have these little spell books, and then that performs magic. So they're at war, and we follow Nadia, who is the cleric, and her like not mosque, like temple kind of thing, cathedral area, monastery. Her monastery gets attacked, and she goes on the run and meets up with some people from another nearby country that normally stay out of the war, and a Trinavian called Malakiash. He's great, love him. And we found a bit more about him in this section. And we also follow the High Prince of the Trinavians, who is dealing with a complicated relationship with his father, the king, but also he's like the biggest war person. Like, he's always sent to the front. And yeah, it's really fascinating. It's really rich and warm. It's a like Slavic setting, so a little bit Russian sounding, but has a lot more of like the Polish, Slovenian kind of thing going on. And I'm really enjoying it, but I'm gonna go switch over to a study in Charlotte for now, because I really want to read 50 pages from 3 more books tonight, so I better keep going. So it's 9:26. I just finished the first 60 pages of A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. This is really interesting. I love this. It's reminding me a lot of Maureen Johnson's series, Truly Devious. It's real good. Alright, so it's 10:45. I just finished 60 pages of Four Dead Queens. I get what some people were saying about it being a bit info dumpy. It's definitely, I think the world's almost too complex, so it does a lot of like, so that you get all the information you need. Also really bothers me when fantasy worlds use really lame names for things. Like, there are quadrants, so the place is called Quadara. Like, that's so lame. But anyway, I'm going to read 50 pages of Spectacle now, after doing dishes, before I go to bed. And then tomorrow I plan to read a little bit of everything. We'll see how fast I can get it done though. I just moved out to my bed. It's about 11:15, and I'm gonna work on the next 40 pages of Spectacle by Jodie Lindrock. And then I'm cold. It's not warm out here. And then I'll turn my light off and go to sleep. I'm enjoying this from the first 10 pages. It's really interesting. But I definitely want to get that first 50 pages read before I go to sleep. And then I'm going to set my alarm for decently early in the morning, maybe 7 o'clock. And then get up and straight away start reading, probably with Wicked Saints, I think, be the best bet. And then see how much I can get read of everything by midday. I do have a decently busy afternoon, but the morning's pretty chill. My mum will be doing housework, but I think I can beg off that because it's not my house. I might help her out a little bit, but I think I could beg off a lot of that. And then in the afternoon, we're gonna go to I'm gonna go on a drive to my nan's op shop that she works at, and then we're gonna go jeans shopping, and then we're going out for dinner. So it is a moderately decently busy afternoon, but the morning's nice and relaxed. So we'll see how much I can read in the morning. But right now I'm gonna finish the 50 pages of this. So I just finished the first 50 pages of Spectacle, so I'm about to go to bed. This was really interesting. The French setting seems to be being done really well. I really like it. And the mystery is really interesting. It's like the 1800s, 1880s, I think. It's really cool. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm still really cold, but I'm gonna rug up under the blankets and go to bed. I'm setting my alarm for early in the morning, and we'll see you then. Alright, it's like 9:20. I just showered, got dressed. I have read so far today about 30 pages of Wicked Saints. I'm gonna continue on that now. And then jump across to Descendant of the Crane, because I want to read it this morning, or the next section. We're due to finish it tomorrow, so that's really exciting. And then I'll see how much through some other things I can get before midday and the end of this 24 hours of reading. Yeah, I've eaten, I've read 30 or so pages, and I've showered and dressed. Huzzah! I just got back, or just had lunch. It's now 1:30, so it is a bit past the end of our 24-hour reading thing, but I ended up like in a half hour, like 11:30, going into town with Mum. We were jeans shopping for her, so what's the best? Oh, that's better. So I didn't end up reading right through till 12, and I've just eaten lunch, so I'm about to settle back down in with Descendant of the Crane. I've read 60 pages of Wicked Saints today, and I'm working on 70 pages of Descendant of the Crane. I think I got about 15 left to go before I hit that mark, which is today's portion of Descendant of the Crane. April and I are finishing it tomorrow. But yeah, so that's where we're at. My afternoon freed up a little bit, so I'm hoping to read some more before we have to go out for dinner tonight. Woo! I just finished the next section of Descendant of the Crane, so we only have like 50 pages left. I'm shooketh. So much things happened. April hasn't finished it yet, but I have a lot of feelings. A lot of things happen in this section. I'm not coping. Anyway, I'm gonna jump across and read some of our study in Charlotte now. I think I have another 60 pages marked out of this. This is my next read for the afternoon. Hi, it's Saturday. I just got home. I don't think I vlogged at all today, but this morning Mum and I went and had a spa treatment, and then I made poffages for lunch, and then I drove home. So I did finish the Ladies' Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, which was my audiobook on the drive, and I started Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. Otherwise, I haven't done much reading today. I start work in a couple of hours, and I'm gonna spend a bit of time this afternoon reading and writing. Last night, after we went out for dinner, I just spent the evening working on my vague novel plans, so didn't do any reading then either, but aha! I will talk to you tonight and let you know how much reading I got done, seeing as there's only like 4 more days. Nice, so I'm just about to go to bed, and I'm gonna wrap up this vlog, which is probably middle of the road sized one. So tonight at work I read about 30 pages of A Study in Charlotte and 70 pages of Wicked Saints. Although I finished all my O.W.Ls, I am hoping to get Wicked Saints at least read before the month is out, which I think is achievable. And maybe with any luck also A Study in Charlotte finished. I am also in the middle of Four Dead Queens and Spectacle. And I'm really enjoying both of those as well, but I've barely started them. But I want to read some of them tomorrow, I think. So I'm going to be focusing on Wicked Saints tomorrow, but also reading some of the other two. And I should also say my thoughts on A Lady's Guide to Petticoat's Piracy, which I finished today on audiobook. Again, not for an hours or anything, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, and I think I actually liked it a little more than the first one. Some people had problems with some of the girl-on-girl hate, but I thought it was, I don't know, I feel like this sounds awful to say, but I feel like it resonated with me. I feel like I was that person once. Like, I didn't have many friends because I consider myself above people, especially in early high school. So I related to that, and I thought her development across the book was really well considered, and she came to a place of like, hang on, I'm like, this is elitist and stupid, like, people can be complex and I shouldn't be taking them at face value kind of thing. And just because their strengths are different to mine doesn't make them any less valid. And so I really appreciated that. The only thing I didn't really like is there's a magical element brought in at about the 70% mark, and I kind of like, it just didn't seem the right place for a fantasy element because it's a very contemporary kind of historical fiction story, and it just felt a bit weird. But otherwise I really liked the little hint of a romance. I liked the cameos from Monty and Percy. I liked Joanna a whole lot. I really liked Felicity. And it was an all-round, and Sim was amazing. I had an all-round good time reading it. Or listening to it rather. So I liked it. I haven't figured out a rating for it yet, but I liked it. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this vlog. There's 3 more days to the month. 2 of them I am working, or at the office. I'm obviously working catch up in here too. But I am kind of on a mental roll for my novel, so we'll see how much I actually get read in the remainder of the month, but I feel like I've had a great reading month regardless, so I'm very pleased with myself. The only thing I really would like to finish before the end of the month is Wicked Saints. So anyway, I'm gonna head off and I'll see you tomorrow in like a week away with a new reading vlog.